It's all those same people who were telling us that Russell wasn't going to be that good as well. So it's the same people that now they love him all of a sudden. And Wayne, you were one of them.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Bullshit.
I defended him. I defended him for all that Nick Young bullshit. Thank you very much.
Yeah, defended that, but you didn't think he was going to be any good.
No, I don't think Lonzo is going to be any good.
No, you're a dickhead if you think that.
Minnesota.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
It's a shame we waited so long to record and now I've got to go. See ya.
Yeah, me too.
Salty
My
Laker
fellas.
fans. Salty Laker fans. Come on now.
I'm broken, man.
You've thrown the season away. You're done this year, you said.
I'm done. I haven't watched a game in weeks.
Yeah, it's probably best you haven't, man.
And then I saw Muscala starting today. Like, we already know what Muscala can do, which is nothing. How about you play Wagner a bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather Josh Hart started at the 4 spot than Muscala.
Oh, he's fucking. We traded Zubac for him. Oh my god. Give me
That's what kills me. It doesn't kill me so much watching Laker games. I'm resigned to the fact that we suck dogs' balls this season. But watching the Clippers or watching the Nets or watching the Pelicans, I can't do it.
Honestly, though, honestly, think about this. Like, think of the players that you let go. I mean, look, D'Angelo Russell's one thing. Randall.
Every team can say they've done that.
Sure, but not in fucking concession like this, bro. Like, you don't even have Lou Williams. Lou Williams is fucking just killing it. Like, he does everywhere he goes, really. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm not so surprised about that, but I also look at that and just go, man, Lou could have helped you this year, like. And Lou Williams is one of those guys we talked about at the start of the year that we were basically like, look, I mean, numbers-wise, he's a starter, right? Like, but he's
so good.
He's so content to, and so happy to come off the bench with green light and just produces. And I don't know if you guys watched the game the other day, but that game winner.
Yeah, it was huge. It was cold, ice cold.
Far out, man.
Here's the thing, man. I'm happy for Russell. Lonzo Ball's my point guard. I'm all in. I bought shares in BBB. The one that pisses me off the most.
Randall.
Yep. That just... Oof. I mean, I've said it before. Magic, he's too impatient. I would piss him off and just let Pelinka run the show. God, they could have just spent the money on Randall and not KCP. KCP finally had a good game
I saw that today.
6 months.
Look, just on that point, I know we've talked about Lakers a fair bit lately, and rightfully so with the spotlight and what LeBron James brings to a team. But I think it's safe to say that Magic's done a bad job this year.
Yeah, he's disappointed. I mean, what does he care? He's disappointed me. I'm broken, man. I don't know. I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out.
I mentioned it at the start of the year. I mentioned it through the course of this season, and talking about those plays he's given up and the whole win now. Like, there's a price to pay on giving up on young talent. Do you know what I mean? I think you guys have really copped that this year. Like,
I think the decision making would have been potentially redeemable had we made a trade at the deadline and ended up finishing this season with Anthony Davis. The fact that none of that happened and it derailed everything and LeBron got injured, it's a write-off of the season. There is no redeeming it. There is no positive that has come out of this whatsoever.
But, I mean, even all that stuff aside, right? Like, think about this. You've had tampering fines, justified or not, you've still had the tampering fines. I don't think there's anyone out there that feels like Luke Walton and Magic Johnson are on the same page at all.
I read today that they're annoyed that he didn't hire a senior assistant, like an experienced coach. I'm looking on the bench. I'm like, well, what the fuck do you think Brian Shaw is?
Yeah, far out. That's a bullshit call.
Maybe that's just a rubbish report, but I'm like, Brian Shaw.
I don't rate Brian Shaw. I used to really like Brian Shaw. I don't rate him.
Why?
Because he's trash. What he did to Andre Miller was fucking trash in Denver. So fuck him. He deserves what he gets. It's all I'll say on that. Go back, listen to previous shows if you want to know the deets. But
Look, all that being said, I still think our future's pretty bright. I mean, the way Ingram was playing before he got this deep vein thrombosis, he was showing everyone what he can do. He's only going to get better. Kuzma's only going to get better. Ball's only going to get better. And LeBron is still producing. He's just got to play defense.
Yeah, if that injury doesn't happen, if LeBron doesn't get injured, if Ball doesn't get injured, and we have that final stretch post All-Star with all of those guys, we are in the playoffs. There is no doubt in my mind we're a playoff team.
no.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind.
No.
They were finally gelling. There's no reason to suggest
I
that
told you guys, start of the year, when we did our preview show, that this team was going to self-implode on itself. And it's exactly what the fuck happened with this team.
But it got injured.
It
got injured and there was a
even
trade.
the injuries
That's not the player.
No, even injuries aside, man. Like, look how quick everyone turned on each other. Like, there's so many knuckleheads together. There was this, that added with what comes with LeBron James, what comes with young players. Like, I'm sorry, the West was just gotten a whole lot better. I know you guys had a big year because you did bring in the best player in the world, but there's just more to it than that. Like there's a deeper problem in Lakeland, like than their players staying healthy.
It's injuries. That's it.
It's not. It's just.
It is.
Well,
Benson just explained it to you. What did you miss?
It's. I don't agree.
Do you have an inside line? Do you?
You apparently do.
No, I'm going by what I can see. We got injured. I got facts. We had injuries. What do you got?
No. You got nothing.
You got nothing.
I told you. I fucking told you at the start of the year this team was
You've got
self-implode.
nothing.
It's exactly what it is. Exactly what's happened.
Yeah, listen, you wanted to draft Mo Bamba. Shut up.
I like Mo Bamba.
Yeah,
I still,
man.
you know what?
Hey,
Because I'm not Magic Johnson and I'm not going to give him away tomorrow. I'll give him a bit of fucking time because he's rookie year.
Oh, you live your life without HIV and you think you're all that.
Does he even have
I
it?
learned,
Does he even have
I
it?
learned something. Oh, shut up,
Don't
mate.
conspiracy theorist this, Wayne'o.
It's good to be back, guys.
Oh, my God. Speaking of back, I learned something a couple of weeks ago. So you guys recorded without me?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned something. Fuck, you guys are boring without me.
Whatever.
Eat a dick.
There's without me, there's no show. There's no dirty jokes. There's no.
You know what?
Without
Without you, there's reasoning and
that may be true, but it does not make for a good show.
Damn us and our facts and analytics and rationale.
Oh, Benson, I just gave Wayne'o facts. He gave us nothing.
I have to
came
give
up with
you
injuries.
anything. I don't have to give you
And
anything.
Wayno's like, oh, no, they just exploded.
Mate, I told you why.
Making Dance Lance has actually been it's frightening when Lance Stevenson has been one of your most consistent locker room presences during any given season. That's actually frightening.
That's pretty scary, yeah. That's something you wouldn't have predicted at the start of the year, you know?
Hell fucking no.
I mean, in all honesty, I would have expected him back in Indiana by now, but hey, prove me wrong. Good on you,
Yeah,
Lance.
I know. Third time round would have been good. I'm glad he's not because he might have upset, what they're doing over there. They're looking like they're going to hang on to this 4 seed.
I told you. I told you it wasn't at all over.
I'm about to go because he's pissing me off.
It's the I told you show. Come on. I don't get these often. Come on now.
Come on, even a broken clock's right once a day, isn't it?
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
That's right. Let me have my moment. God damn it. Hey, can I make a wild prediction?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
The Warriors aren't going to make the finals.
No.
Okay.
Yes, I am going to say that.
Were you?
I think Portland can win it all.
Oh, okay.
I think
See you, folks.
Portland
I'm done.
can win it all. I've been
See you
sitting
later.
on this for a while. We haven't recorded since I've been back from Hawaii, but I think Portland can win it all.
What happened? Who did they pick up?
It's the vibe of the thing.
No.
They've been playing teams really well. They're 4th seed right now.
Nah.
Injury pending. I think they can win it all. Why not?
You aren't being serious, Brian. You aren't being serious.
And I am laying it down on the record right now while we're recording. So obviously there's no going back. So look, all I got is my balls and my word. I think Portland can win it all.
Benson, who says that?
I don't know if that's a saying.
That's a saying. That is a saying.
That's not my balls are my word.
Someone said that before, I'm sure.
No, they didn't.
It's Bruce Jenner.
I know they choked on the water I was drinking. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Hey. Look, I know it's bold statement.
I like Portland, but I don't like him that much.
I know it's a bold statement. I know, look, CJ dodged a bit of a bullet, but I think they'll rest him. I think they'll rest him till playoffs, and they're 43-27. They're 4th seed in the West. They've been playing teams really well this year, and I just think, they've got their identity. Like they realize who they are, and they're all playing to that. And man, 4th seed, and they played the big teams well.
Vince isn't actually going to say anything about this, are you?
No.
Look, I like them. They're scrappy. They do know who they are. I love that they picked up Cantor, and he has really added a dimension to them. His offensive rebounding, look, we've always known that's his niche, and that's what he's good at. Holy shit. I don't think I even appreciated it. Maybe the opportunities weren't there on the boards in New York, but man, he has been eating it up in Portland.
You don't have to run anything for him either. Like, you don't run plays for Cantor, and he's still double doubles. It's just,
it's like Dennis Rodman used to be. Like, nothing was run through him, and he was a machine.
Look, the only problems they're going to have is if Portland do make it to the NBA Finals and go up against Toronto, because he ain't trying to get shot. He ain't trying to get shot.
Would you stop?
Yeah, look, that's a theory you're never going to have to worry about. I don't think they're making that.
Maybe I'll lay a bet down tomorrow. Maybe I'll lay a bet.
Oh, my God. I expect that kind of crazy talk from Portland fans because they're so starved of success and they're very jealous of Laker fans.
Dude, I'm a Memphis fan. Come on now. Starved of success.
I don't know if you've noticed that. But they ain't winning. They're not winning shit. Brooklyn will win one before they do.
Oh.
They just don't win anything.
I just get a vibe, man. Just get a vibe.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Mr. Denudo, but it's not going to happen.
I'd love to play a slap bet down, but I think some people are overdue some payout.
I'll have to take that up with my lawyer, Roderick.
Right,
he's put a junction on it.
I don't. Honestly, if you're talking representing your conference in the finals, you have to beat someone 4 games out of 7.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think they can do it, man.
Warriors? I don't even think they could beat the Nuggets in 5.
Oh,
you know what this is, Benson? This is when Wayne's had too much time during the day to think, and he always does this every now and then. He comes up with these ridiculous predictions, and that's all this is. You've had a day off today, haven't you?
I have actually. How did you know that? How the fuck did you know that?
Because you've had too much time to think and come up with this bullshit.
That's uncanny. How did you do that?
I've known you, 8 years now? Yeah.
Holy shit.
I thought to myself, he's had the day off today. He's probably stayed home. He's probably jumped on RedTube. He's had time to think.
How dare you? How dare you? Oh, boy.
All right, McCoy, rope this back in. Have we got an agenda? What are we doing?
Yeah, look, obviously we've got a few teams. Look, first of all, I suppose, congratulations to Milwaukee Bucks, Toronto Raptors, Philadelphia 76ers, the Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets, and Houston are just around the corner to solidifying themselves a locks for the playoffs. They've cracked their playoff berths already. So, look, knowing that the next few shows, especially here as the seeding works its way out, we'll be talking about those teams a fair bit. I figure, look, let's talk about some of the teams that have been eliminated. Let's talk about what went wrong, where they're headed, and what's the deal. So shall we start it off East or West? You guys call it.
Let's go East.
East. Well, let's start with the bottom dwellers. The New York Knicks, 14-57 on the season. Guys, what went wrong in New York?
Jeez, where do we start?
Nothing went wrong. They're tanking, so technically they're doing all right.
So Zinger's knee started it, and then did he have a dust up with the front office?
Well,
that's where it starts.
I think that's something that's been building over the past 2 seasons in New York. So
look, they're tanking well. That's what happened. They're tanking well.
Yeah.
They shopped around Frank Nicotine. No, I'm talking. They've got plenty of cap space. They're doing it well. They're doing what Philly did a few years ago.
But they're not. But they're not acquiring picks. That's the only difference. They're doing what Philly did, but without the future potential of cashing in those draft picks.
Well, the jungle drums are beating that Kevin Durant's on his way there.
Yeah, but, I feel like it's a bit of an LA thing in New York where it's like every free agent is rumoured to be going there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, Kyrie, I think
he's going.
We've heard the Irving reports. We've heard Durant, obviously. Knicks fans are banking on Zion, which is not a good thing to do if you're a Knicks fan.
As Vince said, they tanked well. That was the objective. They've got... they've had a season where Coach Fizz, who we all love, has been able to play guys and work them out. They obviously shopped out Porzingis, which I think was the smart money. I don't think he was ever going to be a long-term player there. And he's an injured 7'3" guy who needs his athleticism and now has a knee issue. So that didn't bother me so much. They've got expirings. They're going to have plenty of cap room, and they've got young talent with a great coach. So, I think... any Knicks fan expecting to go into the playoffs this season was delusional, and the tank job did what it was meant to do. They'll get a hopefully for their sake, a top 3 pick.
Yeah, look, the hope is Zion, but they've got some nice pieces. I really like Kevin Knox.
Yeah,
and there's Alonzo. I can't pronounce his last name.
Trier.
Yeah, him. He looks pretty promising, and they've got Dennis Smith Jr. as well. So add Zion, add KD, maybe add Kyrie. Suddenly they're looking all right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think a lot of things
could all pay off.
I think a lot of things need to go right for that to happen.
But aren't they due, Wayne? Aren't they due?
Are they
something to go right?
Are they though?
They have to be. It's been piss poor for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I'll tell you who I like. Moutier's been playing good for them.
Moutier's been good when he's healthy. He's been playing really well for them.
They try pretty hard as well. They do. Sometimes, a lot of the time, they're just outplayed by better teams with better offensive systems or better defensive systems. It's just, they're young and they're learning, but they are out there trying. If you're a Knicks fan and you have been for a long time, this is probably the most positive. Whilst the record is shithouse, the actual what you've been watching is probably the most hopeful you would have been going into the end of the season, because the Carmelo Anthony seasons and that, they just fizzed out and they were disappointing, and those teams should have been playoff teams, even if they were fringe dwellers at the 7 and 8 spot, and they never quite got there or didn't perform. But they can go into this offseason, I think, with the high expectations of the young talent they've got, the coach they've got, and the cap room they've got. So, again, I don't. The record sucks balls, but what they've seen, it's very optimistic.
And also, just want to give a shout out to Mario Hezonja. Fuck you, Mario.
You made Stephen Roderick a very happy man tonight.
It's hard not to like Mario. I'm not sure if he still does in New York, but he wore number 8 in Orlando because of Kobe. He grew up massive Kobe fan, so I kind of sneaky like the guy.
We should move on to the Cleveland Cavaliers, 18-53. I can't believe you guys had Cleveland down for playoffs.
Okay, hang on a second.
Injury.
Cock's back. First of all, you were one of the ones that said Colin Sexton was no good, correct?
No.
Oh, how good is he?
No, I did not say that. Why are you putting words in my mouth?
It must have been Bill Simmons.
You do this every week.
Kevin Love's he missed like 70 games, so fuck him. He stuffed up He stuffed up mine and Benson's playoff.
It avoids our
Everyone,
prediction.
you're blaming Kevin now, are you? Kayla.
No, look how much better they play when he's there.
Of course they do.
Well, okay. Well, then
Still
if
not
he was
making
there
the
for
playoffs.
70 games, they probably win 60.
Oh, give me a spell, you dog. Get out of here.
There you go.
Yeah,
Screwed
they'd
my
be
point.
playing Portland in the finals.
Yeah, they're fucking.
Yeah, they'd be going.
Oh, they win
all the way,
60.
baby.
The top of the East with a healthy Kevin Love. Are they? Get out of
bloody
here.
oath, bloody oath. He's a double
Rubbish.
machine.
He was.
He would have seen that Timberwolves Kevin Love. He would have led them to the playoffs. I believe that.
Right,
Firmly believe that.
Rightio. Firmly, only firmly's in your bloody hand right now. Get off it. God damn.
I'm harder than Chinese algebra right now.
Oh, tell me more.
Just watch some Lakers highlights.
Terrible.
That'd destroy it.
Don't do that.
I just really I really don't want Cleveland to get the number one pick next year. I don't want them to get. They get the number one pick. I'm calling bullshit. I'm done. I'm calling bullshit and I'm fucking done. Like, that's it. I'm out.
I really hope they get it.
No, I don't want to watch any more fucking. Oh man, so many fucking Cleveland games. God damn, hate it.
Has any team gotten that many? Let's say they got number one.
Oh.
That would be absolutely unprecedented, wouldn't it? To have gotten LeBron, Kyrie, Wiggins, and then another like that would never have happened before.
forgot-
Wouldn't it? Four number ones in like 15 years.
You forgot Anthony Bennett.
Oh, and Anthony Bennett. Yeah, everybody forgot Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, look, definitely a rebuild. I'm kind of interested to see if they can rebuild well.
I like what they've got. I genuinely like some of their players. Like Larry Nance is playing really well. I don't know if it's just the home cooking, but he's playing really good. I'm really high on Colin Sexton. Like, I really impressed. At the start of the season, I didn't think his jump shot was broken, but I thought he was a bit hesitant and he seemed a bit clangy. Like everything was hitting the rim, but it wasn't going in. And as the season's progressed, as rookies do, he's getting more comfortable. And man, it's like it's his team. He is totally the motor behind that outfit. He's a gun.
Yeah, I think what early criticism was from his own teammates. I think there was maybe some bad blood or something on the team. You know, they criticised him for not being an NBA player, and we spoke about it on the show, but. I mean, the guy plays D, man. Like, it's hard. I don't know. I find it hard not to like guys that play hard defense. Like, the scoring will come, and he's just a rookie. Do you know what I mean? He's just a rookie. You got to give these guys a chance.
I like Chetty Osman as well. He's a great player. I mean, he's a confidence player. The more shots he makes, the bigger the hoop gets. And he's a real combo. Like, he's got like a bit of Ginobili in him, the way that he slides around the court and he can use his left or right. I think he's only going to get better as well, and he's going to be one of their building blocks for years. And honestly, if they get a high draft pick, and if they hang on to Kevin Love, I'm going to say the same thing preseason next. Like, I'm going to say that they're a playoff team.
Stop it.
I am. Without a doubt.
Well, let's get into this next team. The Chicago Bulls. A bit of an up and down season for them. They did make a late trade as well. Some thoughts on this Bulls?
I like a lot of their pieces. They've just got to get it right from here on out. I don't know. They're pretty young, aren't they? Like, Markkin's very young. I know Levine's young. Chris Dunn, mid-20s.
Yep.
Let's be patient. John Paxson, let's be patient. They're doing magic here and trade away for Mike Muscala. Got to be smart with the veterans they add now, I think, and good free agents. And I think the coaches turned out to be okay.
Like Boylan?
But I think they're just very young. Yeah, I think they're just very young.
Look, I'm still not a fan of Boylan, and obviously Stu and I are big fans of Bobby Portis. So to see him go, I don't know. Bobby Portis.
Who?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I think it was actually a smart move because is it Carter Jr.?
Otto Porter Jr. Otto Porter has totally changed. He does not stop defending and doing the right things on offense. He's totally changed that team since he's come on board.
No, but Wayne, you're right. I forgot about Wendell Carter. I love that kid.
Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, so I think the Porter move makes a lot of sense to free up time for him because
definitely.
He's going to be a starter. He's a starter for sure, right? Match him next to Markkanen, and man, that's they've got. See, here's my thing with this. I feel like this squad is a little bit, and it's funny because they've made trades with this team in the past. They're a little bit Minnesota Timberwolves, where they've got so much talent, but how long do you ride that until you have to start making trades for some vets? Do you know what I mean? How long do you ride talent before you go, now we've hit the corner?
Wayne, this is the problem. You got to give these guys time.
100%. 100%. I agree.
So as long as the win total's going up every year with these youngsters, that's all you can ask for. And
but
then
this
you
is
start
the thing.
bringing in every year, pieces.
Yeah,
That's
Look,
all you
for
can do.
me, they're like an East Coast version of what Vladdy's been trying to do over in Sacramento, and look how good that's turned out. He's kept this talent. He's given this talent court time. These guys are so young. I think they are the youngest team in the league by average age. I think it's by quite a bit.
Yeah.
They just need to stick together. They've got great pieces. I love what they've done and what they put together. And it was a good trade to get rid of Portis. It was good. What's his name? Bobby. What's his name?
Bobby Portis.
Portis. Yeah. Sorry. It made sense for him, and it makes sense for their positional. I guess freeing up of spots, and for Wendell Carter to get him space. We're going to be talking about him like Vince and I talk about Randall. Once he gets court time and works out what sort of a player he's going to be, he is going to be so good.
Yeah, just went back to my point. I'm more concerned about the Bulls, as in the franchise, being patient enough to ride out the young talent. That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, massive. That's a massive concern because they've got a history of it. So that's valid.
I have my reservations about Boylan, but I don't think you can deny that he's got this team working hard, because otherwise they sit on the bench anyway. And look, the Clippers game, the Bulls Clippers game the other day, where both Doc Rivers and Boylan got ejected, and for Zach LaVine to come out and offer to pay his fine, I thought it spoke volumes about how far this team's come since obviously all the turmoil and the state of the team when he took over it to where they are now, even though they are well out of the playoffs now. Look, if you're a Bulls fan, you might hate your ownership, you may hate John Paxson, but you got a nice young squad moving forward, and they're a lot of fun to watch on League Pass too.
They are a real fun team to watch. I love Dunn. I really do. I just hope he can stay healthy and hope he can stay on the court. He gets it. He's a real baller. He's got good size for his position. He's got a real good feel for the game. I think the full season of him and these guys gelling, just hang on to it and just believe in it and give it time. Even if it's another season or two, just give it time. They don't really have an alpha though. As much as Levine's their clutch guy and their end of game guy, I really thought coming into this is probably going to be Markkanen's team, but it hasn't really ended up that way.
Yeah, I'm really surprised with a lot of people who are hanging shit on Levine. I mean,
how can you?
I mean, you can say that he can play more defense, or you don't like his lack of defense, but you could say that about fucking 80% of the league. He's a young kid who's been asked to score. He hasn't been asked to lock down any other fucking players. Do you know what I mean? He's not. When he goes in and they got their game plan, it's not, Zach, we need you to lock down the other team's best players. We need you to get buckets. We need you to stay aggressive and attack the rim, because that's what you do best.
Minnesota fucked up, man. They should have just
fucking
you
Wiggins.
say that every season about something, but honestly, they should have just unleashed him and just let him go.
Yep.
And just let him just run their offense through him and Cat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he would have still been who he is now. But the Bulls have just unlocked him. Honestly, the Timberwolves fucked up letting him go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all Tibbs. Tibbs wanted his boy Jimmy there.
Yep.
And there's no doubt that Levine would have been doing this in Minnesota if Tibbs hadn't made that trade, which he probably regrets now, I'm sure. But, Levine is an absolute stud. I would have him as my two guard any day of the week.
Yep.
Well, look, speaking of studs, we should jump into this next team, the last one that was eliminated from the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. And, look, I'm just going to ask this question straight off the bat. Do you think Trae Young's done enough to get Rookie of the Year?
If Luka Doncic was still playing in Europe, yes.
I don't know, man. His run lately has been fucking
Oh, it's fantastic.
bonkers. I don't know.
Any other season, he's got it.
All right, so I agree. I just wanted to pose a question, but I think they might co-rookie of the year.
Yeah, they might. But I thought they might with Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons, and they didn't. So I don't know. Maybe the league just isn't going to entertain that anymore.
He's been playing so well, man. Look, Stu, I know you've been a big supporter of him from day dot. I've taken a little bit long time to come around, but man, I tell you what, I've been super impressed with his last 2-3 months with the ball. He looks great.
He is such a good basketball player.
Yeah. His handle...
Stu, I think the Hawks can win the finals next year, mate.
His handle is, where he is with his game now. I know he gets a lot of comparisons because he shoots so far from deep like Steph Curry, but I feel like his handle is far more ahead of where Steph's was at that, during his rookie season. Like, it's just... I mean, I don't know if it's just a whole different era and guys are more focused on it now, but... I mean, he's great with the pill.
Yeah, and it's he's very quickly established. It's his team, and everyone knows it. Like Vince said, honestly, if Luka was held back another year in Europe, any other season, it's a runaway. As good as Bagley's been playing, and a couple of other rooks have been putting up some good numbers towards the end of the season, it would be his any other year. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, Vince, your boy John Collins, man, he's certainly come along this season.
Oh boy!
You know who?
If we could somehow manage to get him over.
I mentioned him earlier, Vince. Sorry to jump in, but does he remind you a little bit of Amari?
Don't you ever say that?
No, just the way he attacks the rim. Like, I mean, I don't know. Just every now and then, I feel like little flashes. Just like, damn.
No.
Well, that went well.
I love John Collins. He's probably he and Trae Young are the only two reasons I and Vince Carter to watch Atlanta Hawks games.
No, Kevin Huerter.
They're good, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's got red hair.
Mate, he's
good,
an absolute gun.
He's a steal, man. Fuck.
Oh, my God. He is so good.
He's, you know what?
Good luck to him.
We talked about him, I think, a couple of shows back, Stu, but he's very calm under pressure for a rookie.
Yeah.
And
the nuts on him. It's crazy.
Yeah, and super high, IQ, man. Like, he's going to stick in this league for a while.
Yeah, it's like he's put together all those little things that the Doug McDermotts and these cliched white guy shooters. But he can put the ball on the floor. He can drive it to the hoop. He's got a high IQ. He's not just going to be a shooter, even though that's his expertise.
Did you guys hear Atlanta's GM on Woj's podcast a couple of weeks back?
No, I didn't. What was that?
No.
Very interesting. He sounds like he's on the ball. And he had some interesting things to say about Trae Young. Check it out. I won't spoil it for you.
I like their coach, man, Lloyd Pierce. Like, I feel like was a bit unknown to me, but, watching the Atlanta games I had this season, I mean, yeah, they've pulled out some great wins. I mean, I know, obviously their record stinks. 24-48 in the Eastern Conference. But some of those teams they've knocked off have been... That OKC one comes to mind from earlier in the year. They've played teams really well.
But same sort of thing as the Bulls. They've got some nice pieces. Probably not as many as the Bulls, but they've got some nice pieces, and they get it right. They can have a very competitive team for a decade.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, who's given them good minutes. The tandem, Dwayne Dedman and Alex Len.
Yeah, Len's been playing well.
Len can step out and hit the short three, the corner three. He's been hitting that pretty consistently, and fuck, he's a big dude. Is he 7'2"?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he's 7'1", 7'2", actually.
Okay, he is big. Far out, he takes up some space.
You know who else can shoot?
Who's that?
Mike Muscala.
Stop it.
Kenny though.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking.
I tell you what, it was a couple of weeks ago. Memphis were on a 3-game win streak, and we had the Hawks up next. And I knew we were going to lose that game because this has been sort of the MO for I feel like Atlanta this season. Like, if you take them lightly, or you just they're going to shock you and they're going to take the win off you. That's what OKC done earlier in the year, and I could almost guarantee like half their wins this year have happened through that because they're just ready to go. I mean, Trey, as good as he is, I just feel like Lloyd Pierce has these guys ready to go. And if I'm a Hawks fan, I'm pretty happy with the team this year. Like, there's room to grow for this team. Like, obviously you bring in more and more young talent. You got to be happy with the veteran voice of Vince Carter in the locker room, and solid guys like Bazemore and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot to like for if you're a Hawks fan right now.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
That's our East. That's our final contenders knocked out.
That's all that's been eliminated to date in the Eastern Conference. We're going to jump to the Western Conference right now. And look, I just touched on them. 17-55, the Phoenix Suns. Guys, what went wrong? Not what went wrong. What's going on? What's going on in Phoenix?
Terrible owner. A GM that's a lame duck GM from all reports.
Good coach.
Kokosov, whatever his name is.
Bless you.
Igor.
Bless you.
Poor recruiting or signings, as we say. But did draft well with Ayton. Booker's... I don't know about Devin Booker. Is he a blue chipper?
I don't think so.
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, man, shouldn't he be a little bit better by now?
I think so.
I think he has yet to be humbled. I think he's still playing with this weird rookie chip on his shoulder deal.
Iron Sheik style humbled, or
maybe.
Okay.
Dare I say? But do you know what I mean? Like, he's so hot-headed. It's not what the team needs. And look, I know sometimes that can come down to experience, but been in the league in a while now. He's signed. This is the thing, and this is my thing with Wiggins as well. It's like you can make the excuses for young guys, and young talent for a while, but that goes out the window when you sign your big boy deals. Okay, he has it. The responsibility's on him now. I don't think he stays in Phoenix. I don't think any of us here thinks long term he stays in Phoenix. There is some things to like in Phoenix. They've just got to figure it out.
If they don't start improving in the next 2 seasons, he'll go easily.
Yeah, 100%.
I like a lot of their players. Like, I really like TJ Warren.
Yes.
But surprisingly, I liked him in Washington, and I thought he needed a new start, and I thought he needed more minutes. And I'll tell you what, he's streaky, but Kelly Oubre Jr., I admit I underrated him. He's a very, very decent, serviceable basketball player. He's good.
Almost a Grizz. Almost.
Yeah, that's true. Josh Jackson, I know you guys aren't as high on Josh Jackson as I am, but he's been playing really good when he's been on the court. He's his points per minute and his output per minute and his defensive effort per minute. I think he knows he's probably on borrowed time there. I think he knows he's not part of their long-term plan, but when he gets on the court, he's productive.
He's shown a lot more consistency this year. Last year, I think it was more for me, Josh Jackson, was how he went around getting to Phoenix and the whole deal with Boston. Kind of not that I cared heaps, but I was like, that's a bit of a shitty thing to do. You're a rookie as well, so come on now. And then to come out his rookie year and have kind of a lackluster season, rather, kind of hurt his stock a bit, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, but I like bringing in Tyler Johnson. He's been really good for them in this tail end of the season, and that frees up some money as well. I don't know who they're going to be able to get, but I don't know if you're that kind of end of career-ish vet, but still have a little bit in your legs. I mean, they could use a couple of those sorts of people, like they have Jamal Crawford this year.
Yeah, they're shit.
Top-notch analytics from Vince. Excellent.
Did you get a text message that said, "Come to bed, babe"?
Yeah, how did your wife get my number?
Oh, boy.
Boy. Just a joke. Joke. Geez. She's in Sydney. She only comes here on weekends. I'm sorry, Benson. I'm going to pay.
I think he's trying to pay us back for recording without him last week, Stu.
If I know Benson, he will come back with a quick retort very soon. Don't you worry.
Biding my time.
Well, Wayne'o, I said all what I wanted to say before. They got a couple of good corner pieces, cornerstones. Sure. It's Phoenix. No one cares.
Look, I think
the best thing that happened to Phoenix is that old lady who went off at Robert Sarver.
Yeah, damn straight. That was great. Phoenix know what the problem is, and they've known for at least 2 seasons now and it's that they need a point guard to match up with Booker. And look at their roster. Look who their point guards are. It's common knowledge in the NBA circles that they want Lonzo Ball. They feel like he'd be a great fit next to Devin Booker. Look, if you can't get Lonzo Ball and you have the Phoenix Suns, then I feel like this draft you need to bring in a point guard. Do you know what I mean? It's almost a shame they had the number one pick. I mean, as good as Ayton is, they needed a point guard.
If you ever say,
I don't need to say it. LeVar Ball says it all the fucking time. What do you mean, me? His father says it all the time, Vince. Look at the Pelicans deal that didn't happen. The first thing out of his mouth was, "No, he's going to Phoenix. Phoenix is the best spot for him." I don't know why he talks like Sean Connery, but look.
What is that voice?
I don't know. I don't do impressions well.
He's had a day off. Mate. Remember that.
That's true.
Move on, Wayne.
No, but it's true, right?
No, it's not true. He's not going to Phoenix. He's staying in LA.
Twat. I'm trying to say, if you can't get Lonzo Ball and your Phoenix Suns, you need to move on from that. Because if it isn't happening, it isn't happening. The issue in Phoenix right now is they need to upgrade the point guard. They've got an all-star caliber player in their two-guard Devin Booker, the potential one in Ayton. But if they don't want those guys to bounce, I think their next pick needs to be a pick not for best talent, but best fit.
We spent way too much time on Phoenix.
We kind of did. Sorry, I dragged that out.
Yeah, moving on.
Okay, let's move on now from the Phoenix Suns to the Dallas Mavericks. 28-42, made some moves. Interesting season next year coming up. Does Dirk stick around? Some thoughts?
They're actually doing everything right. They're doing nothing wrong. The minute they drafted Luka, the minute they traded for Dzinger, who else have they got? No, Tim Hardaway Jr. has been very good for them. He just cops so much shit because of that contract, probably rightly so, but he's just about living up to that contract.
Yeah.
They're doing everything right. I've said it before, I'd love to play for Mark Cuban. If I was 7 foot and 20 years younger, I would be. I would never leave Dallas. Like I said, doing nothing wrong. They've got a plan. They always go out, and what I love about Dallas, they always go out and try and get someone who's going to make an impact, and they've done it again.
I still think they need some scoring in them. I think that obviously Dirk's dropped off. Luka can only do so much. Kristaps is still an X factor. Let's see when they get him back and what they get. They play Brunson and Luka or Harris and Luka together. So whilst Luka's a point guard, he does switch to the two, like a ball handling two, and I don't know if they've got a good enough point guard to put next to him. They do need some pieces in the offseason.
Well, look, let's jump to my team, the Memphis Grizzlies. Horrible season, as predicted. We made a good trade at the deadline. 28-42 on the season. Stinker. I'm going to say my thoughts on the team have changed since the start of the year, that's for sure. And since, Vince, you're totally right about Jonas.
Refresh my memory. What did I say?
You just said he was going to be really good for the team and plays hard. Yeah. And he's done exactly that since stepping in. I don't like a lot of the criticism towards Gasol because he's just at a different end of his career. I think people forget what Gasol did for us as well. But I really like my squad right now. Obviously, we're not making the playoffs, but I knew that from the start of the year. But I like the pieces. I like that we've been, at least since the trade, we've been putting together wins and doing it without Dylan Brooks and without Jaren Jackson Jr. Who did I say? Did I say it wrong?
He just said Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks. Our two-guard. Who's been out this year.
Superstar.
He's a good player. Second-year guy.
Hang on.
Fucking loves to shoot.
Jaren Jackson, mate. Your thoughts?
Very good. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
I want you to say you were wrong.
Oh, but I wasn't wrong, though. I don't hate the guy. I didn't hate the guy.
Come on, man.
Mate, I think you're confusing my hatred for Chandler Parsons, and I think you get it mixed up between... Look, the idea of moving Chandler Parsons from this squad tickled me pink to no end. So when we kept Jaren Jackson and Parsons was still on the squad, I thought, well, maybe we missed a good opportunity to move Parsons along and tie him up with a pick and maintain a top 10 pick. So that was my thoughts on it. But Jackson's been great. Can't knock you. Can't fault him. But like I said, I just like the unity and the youth of this team right now. I'm glad we've still got Conley sticking around.
Not for long.
Because he's the steady hand. They won't move him.
Not for long.
I'll tell you what, the biggest thing with Memphis right now is that it's, for the longest time, it was the tandem. It was Rudy, it was Conley, it was Gasol. We bring in Zebo, who gave us those pieces that, gave us those little things that we were missing, that veteran leadership, those rebounds, that post game. And Rudy gets moved on. Conley is just a different player right now. He's happy, and I'm kind of glad that it's kind of his team right now.
He will be at a different team at the start of next season.
I don't think so.
I don't know about that, but if I'm a Memphis fan, if I'm you, I'm happier ending this season the way it's ended as opposed to if we pulled up stumps after 45 games and you had that roster with no direction. You've finished this season with a direction, with some pieces, with some cap space to come. Look, I think finishing where you finished is better than finishing an 8th seed and getting knocked out in the first round. I mean, had you have kept the pieces, I mean, that was never going to happen, don't get me wrong. But I mean, in seasons past it has, and I just think, you've lingered around that 9-10 spot, which gets you no draft pick. It gets you. I just think, all things considered, some band-aids were ripped, some moves were made, and it's the start of the rebuild that you should probably have already been doing for probably the last 3 seasons.
I agree, but I mean, I don't think we even have a pick. Anyway, I think our pick goes to Boston. So
yeah,
it wasn't about tanking for us this year. I knew we weren't making the playoffs. So
no,
but like you said, I am
making moves.
Honestly, man, I just enjoy watching this team play right now. Like, I've always been a fan of Avery Bradley, and Joakim Noah's been fucking great.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most surprising stories of the season.
Dude,
full stop.
For all the shit he's caught because of his time in New York and the contract, obviously, he's been fucking great for us.
Yeah, so I think I forgot how much energy and hustle he brings, and I'll tell you what, a healthy Joakim Noah has got another. Oh shit, he could play another 6 or 7 seasons in the league. He really could.
I could see him playing what he's playing right now. I could see him doing that for another 5, easy.
Yeah, honestly, it's bizarre.
You forgot to mention Chandler Parsons against Washington.
I know he did his 16 points, which is probably about all he's done if you combine his other seasons together. So good on him.
And
get that
just averaging a handy 4.6 a game for you blokes.
Mate,
so
get that trade value up. Do your thing. Give him all the minutes he wants.
And I think you've handled the absence of Marshawn Brooks pretty well.
Well, look, there's always going to be.
You were pretty high on old Marshawn.
There's always going to be collateral damage, Vince. Okay. Anyway, look, I could talk to Memphis for hours. We're not going to do that. Probably talk a little bit too long about it.
We actually want people to stay awake.
Let's move to the New Orleans Pelicans then. Ooh,
no, this will hurt.
Rough year if you're a Pelicans fan.
Oh, as rough as our season has been as Laker fans, we can sleep easy knowing that we're not Pelicans.
That's true. All right, look, let's maybe remove the Anthony Davis factor for a little bit, right?
Let's.
Just for a second, we'll come back to it, I'm sure. You've still got Drew Holiday, and you've got some nice, maybe not for long, but you've got some nice pieces there. Like, I think it's safe to say we're all at least rooting for, if not fans of Stanley Johnson, who came across from Detroit. Mm-hmm. You've got Jahlil Okafor, who showed some good signs this season. Got Julius Randle, who we're all three of us over the moon about. A guy who has just been playing fantastic lately that we... I think I brought up in the private chat with you guys is Elfrid Payton, man, who's just been on a tear and like with triple doubles.
Yeah, I think we always knew he had it in him.
He did this in Orlando towards the end before they traded him, where he was getting consistent triple doubles. He was brought in as, I suppose, I think a lot of people were surprised when they took a gamble on him because they were replacing Rondo, who had a great season with the Pelicans, obviously hit playoff Rondo mode as per norm. Obviously, this year, a lot of injuries, though. But, I mean, being injury-free this latter part of the season, he's really shown what he can do.
So are you saying they struggled because of injuries?
No, I'm saying that they're a fucking mess, but they got some nice pieces. I mean, after this Anthony Davis crap has sorted out, there is still some things to like about a Pelicans squad.
You know what the best thing is?
What's that?
They've just signed the 4th Latvian in the league.
Did they really?
Yeah, they've got Davis Bertans' older brother, Darius, is just signed with them for the remainder of the season.
Is he a lights-out shooter?
He's pretty good, actually. Yeah, he's not too bad. He's been a career pro over in
Europe,
but he puts up pretty decent numbers. But he's
interesting.
His brother's got about half a foot on him. I think he's only about 6'3", 6'4". He's a shooter.
6'4", 2 guy, isn't he? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's a shooter.
Dang.
Did you know our friends in Latvia have the 4th fastest internet in the world?
Really? Interesting fact. Vince, some thoughts on the Pelicans?
Yes.
You can bring your Anthony Davis talk in.
I'll give you some thoughts. Just if you want to know more about their internet, just head to latvia.com.
Oh, man, you got to do it.
Okay, Pelicans.
Okay, look, you can bring up Anthony Davis now if you want.
All right. Okay. I don't think we're going to get Anthony Davis. So I don't think they're going to trade him to the Lakers. I think there's some bad blood there. In saying that, so I think they're going to get a new GM in. I think the GM is going to trade Davis for the best possible package that he can get. I think Holiday's gone. I think they're going to start again. I think he's going to get draft picks, maybe get some youth in. I would be keeping Randall. That kid is a gun. I just think they're going to start over because the GM's going to want his own fingerprints all over this team. And Del Demps, they're not a shambles, but no one really knew if Del Demps had a plan or not. So I just think they're going to clean house. And unfortunately for me and Benson, no Anthony Davis for us.
Yeah, I think the same. I think they're going to go into this off-season with a clean-it-out, start-again plan. I think that a failing of the Boston Celtics to clinch the East is going to mean that Danny Ainge is going to have that chat, and he has the assets to make that happen. I still think the Laker deal would have been better for the Pelicans in terms of asset haul. I think they will look back at that as an organisation and think, fuck, we should have pulled the trigger on that, just based on the fact that Magic was going to give them everyone, and I think he was going to dig up Tex Winter and give him as well. He was going to give him everything. Hey, come on! I didn't say Chuck Hearn. I didn't say Chick. So, but it was. Wow. It was going to be. I don't think they will get an offer as strong as what Magic was going to give them. I think Ainge is going to go for it. I think. I hate saying it. I think he's going to be a Celtic.
It makes sense if you're a Boston fan. I think if you can get that deal done, because I feel like with Boston and where they are right now, and just the way they're playing, it sorts out a lot of turmoil. If that makes sense. Like, yeah, I don't know. Pelicans.
Yeah, but I mean. They've got pieces. They've got picks. They've got they've got a lot of things that they can offer. I know that Demps held out and said that he wanted an All NBA caliber player in the Davis deal, and he didn't think he was getting one from LA. And Tatum had come up in conversation. So whether or not Tatum's going to be a linchpin in this, who knows?
I think so.
Tell me. Brandon Ingram's last month and a half to 2 months has not been way better than Tatum's.
Totally agree. I agree, but apparently the Pelicans didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Del Demps probably looking back at that now, going, "Fuck, I should have taken it."
Oh shit! Yeah, so that's why I reckon in hindsight that deal is going to be the best thing that they got offered, and they fucked it.
That's why, I still say future's bright because Brandon Ingram, he's showing us.
Yeah.
He's showing us the future already.
I made a comment online, and I still stick by it. It was in another forum, but there is a massive potential that we get into season 5, and we look at the number 1 and 2 draft pick out of that, and I think the consensus will be, you know what, as good as Ben Simmons is, and he is. Don't get me wrong. Like I think Ingram's production is going to be as good, if not better.
Actually, they should just move. Just move.
Seattle?
That's the answer.
I'm down with that.
I'm down for that.
I'm down
I mean,
for that.
if you listen to Bill Simmons' podcast, when he goes to Nolan's,
I mean, when Bill Simmons not listening to the Courtside Podcast, I mean, he makes some good points.
When isn't he?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that piece of shit, that son of a bitch, he steals a lot of our content. But anyway, we'll never admit it. He's saying like the joint's empty. New Orleans Saints.
Really?
The New Orleans Saints own that town, own that city. Pelicans aren't high on people's priority list there.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, they're not going to be right now. Their star player is restricted to fucking 23 minutes, isn't he? Like,
yeah, but they went even when they went to the playoffs last year.
that place was not empty. That place was not empty. He's full of shit. Simmons is full of shit.
He's saying
because that place was packed against the Warriors.
God, pardon me.
Jeez, you dying?
Yeah, I will get fucked. I'm just telling you what he said.
Well, I'm just telling you, he's fucking wrong.
No, but I don't think he meant the playoffs. He's talking more regular season, like no one goes.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much I buy that, man. Look at fucking Miami.
Yeah.
Their crowds don't rock up till halftime anyway. Like, that's
Yeah, but that's because they're out.
In the
There's
sun.
actually something to do in Miami, isn't
the
there?
beach.
I shouldn't say they're in New Orleans. I've never been there, and I've never been to Miami, so what the hell do I know? Move on.
Well, that's it. That's the 8 teams that have been eliminated so far. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You guys' thoughts on the season so far?
Oh,
I mean,
dude, really?
Look, on the season, not the Lakers season.
No, look, that is my season, you dick.
I like the fact that we have no idea. Like the last couple of seasons, you've had a consensus lock to come out of each conference. There isn't one this season. There's been some surprising losses from the Warriors, and they've obviously they're still working Boogie into the rotation. They've got Clay's been injured. They've got Bogut coming across now, who started yesterday. It's interesting. Not only do we not know how the top of the ladder is going to form itself over the next couple of weeks, there's still tight competition for the 8th spot in both conferences. So I'm really curious to see who sneaks in and who misses the cut and by what sort of percentage it's going to be. It's going to be a fucking close race.
Watch out!